Now, you mentioned the time that you spent away due to the addiction that you had to, I believe, tramadol. Um, you
Oh
know,
man, you heard about that? Oh man, I was trying to keep that a secret. No, I just kidding.
certainly it's an inspirational thing that you're able to confront it head on and kick the habit away. In terms of
Absolutely.
for people that might not know, exactly how did that all begin?
Well, about I'd say it was after the Medina fight that that I became addicted. After actually, it was after surgery. What is the Medina fight? Um, my nose was it had a blood clot on the inside, and I actually beat Medina with a blood clot in my nose. I barely could breathe, but after the Medina fight, uh, had surgery. It was called they labeled it sinus surgery, and when they went in there, they started out a blood clot, which they removed, and you know, I was one of the persons that wouldn't drink, smoke, or not even take a Tylenol, not even take a Advil. I mean, nothing. And after the surgery, they prescribed me some pain meds, and you know, after a while, after I was taking it, I was like, wow, the feeling of it, I began to like. And after a month after my surgery, I found myself taking it when I didn't need it, and you know, I'm not making no excuses. I honestly think they shouldn't have prescribed a person like me who hasn't taken anything in their life something that's strong or something like that. So, but I became victim to it and was, hiding it for a while and until I couldn't hide it anymore.
How long did that all go on for?
I would say the good 2 years. The 2 years, the last 2 years just got worse. My reflexes, everything was just dead. I wasn't myself, and you can see that in my performances, and you can see that all, while I was going through it. You can see it. Sean Porter fight, it was becoming more. It wasn't to the point where it was bad, but you can see that it was kind of taking over, and definitely in the Khan and the in the Martinez fight, it definitely took over. It was just like I was just not myself. It just had took over my life and took over my everything. So it was just definitely a terrible time in my life for me that I never thought I mean, if you told me I would be going through that, you know, 5 years ago, if you would have told me I would be addicted to anything, I would have probably slapped you, because that's just, I hated drugs. I was a person that said, why do people take drugs? Why do people do drugs? I mean, I just don't understand it. And I found myself a victim to it. So, you know, it was a rough time for me.
What was the moment where you said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I got to get and seek help.
No, actually, it was after the Martinez fight. After the Martinez fight, me and my wife was sitting in the was watching a movie, and I blacked out, and I woke up. My wife said I woke up. Um, she said that I blacked out, and the ambulances were there. I was like, what happened? Why are these people in my house? Why are the ambulance in my house? And she's like, you blacked out, and I was that's that from that day forward that scared me straight because that scared the hell out of me because I never experienced anything like that in my life. So from that point on, I said, no way. This is not what I want my life to be. This is not what I want my kids to see. This is not what I want my wife to go through. Just no, no way. So I made up my mind saying, I'm gonna see my wife. She was hidden. She was hidden that I was addicted, but I would make excuses. That's what it does. When you're doing something secretly, you make excuses. and she kind of hunched at it like I was addicted. But I would tell her, no, I was just taking it for the pain and all that. But she knew, and I from that day forward, I said, I'm not putting my wife in that position ever again. The look on her face, I know she was scared to death, and I didn't like that.
So you spent about 8 months in rehab.
Yes.
Those 8 months. Describe it to me, man. How were those 8 months?
You know, just when I first got there and started talking, they want because the first part of it, they want you to realize and talk about what you've been through and talk about what's been going on. And here I am, 3-time world champion, sitting in the classroom, a circle of people whose cases are extreme. Totally extreme. Like they was just gone. It was people now just high. They was high going to the class. They was nodding, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, how did I get myself into a position where I'm sitting in a class where people heroin addicts, crackheads, just all sorts of things, and it scared the crap out of me. It just, it was a humbling moment for me because, I never in a million years thought I would have myself in that position. I just, the moment was just sobering, and it was also motivation to go through this program and get clean and get my life back. So the experience was definitely a sobering eye opener for me, and definitely a changer for me.
During that whole period where you felt like you weren't yourself and you were having to deal with all this, did you always still have that strong desire though to continue boxing, or did you feel at one point like, hey, maybe I shouldn't fight anymore?
No, I never thought that. I just thought I can hide it. I just thought I could just take it and it won't affect me, but it just took everything that I worked for away. For that time that I was taking, it just took everything away, and it was just a tragic moment for me around that time. And I definitely didn't like myself, or what I was doing to myself. I could see myself being stupid. I could see myself just like, Devon, what are you doing? Do you understand what you're doing? And I just kept continuing on the path, and it was just a moment that I couldn't control. It just took over my life, and I'm mad at myself that I let it happen, but it happened, and I'm just grateful that because a lot of people don't come back. A lot of people don't come back. A lot of people overdose. A lot of people just go to heavier drugs. A lot of people go to just through all type of things. I'm just glad it happened, and I was able to come out of it.
Why do you think people keep towards that spiral? Like, what do you think causes that when they're at a vulnerable stage like that?
I used to, like I said, I used to be the type of person that say, why are people taking drugs? That's the most disgusting thing. Why do people want to, walk around zombied out and this and that, this? And I became one of those. So, I understand them. I understand what they was going through, and I understand. And for people that's going through it, they're going to have something to look forward to. They have to. They have to have some family. They have to have support. They have to have, something. For me, it was my career, my family. that was more important to me than anything. So that in itself was motivation for me to stop whatever I was doing and just say, okay, enough, enough, enough. And I think that formula for people who's addicted, they need something to look forward to. They need something to cling on to help them say, okay, enough, enough is enough. And that's what I did. So I think that's a good way to start your rehabilitation back into society.
In terms of you saying that your career, your family were big points for you to overcome this, given what happened in the last few years, do you feel a sense of urgency or a sense of you got to get back even stronger because of the lost time that you had in those past years?
No, because I feel like I'm in my prime right now. This is the prime of my career. It happened. It was something that happened. I don't think I feel I need to rush. God has guided my career to where He wanted to be. I'm in the right place I should be right now. I don't question. I don't question nothing God do. And I just gotta, every challenge He put in front of me, I just gotta make sure I take it serious, and I do what I'm supposed to do to get the victory. And no rush, no pressure. I've been on the other side, and this is just it's just motivation for me to do whatever fight I get into. You take it serious, and you do what you're supposed to do to get the victory. So no pressure.
So you look at it as, it happened for a reason. It happened to make you stronger mentally, and overall the experience is something that made you stronger.
Yes, and to help a lot of people too along the way, because now I'm fighting for a higher purpose now. In my opinion, I'm fighting for a higher place than myself. I got my kids, I got my wife, and I have people that has gone through an addiction. Look at and that I get messages every day, every other day. Saying how I was able to overcome it. So I got a lot of people looking at me. So that's motivation in itself. And I want to be, that voice or that person to show them that they can overcome anything.
Certainly, like I mentioned before, it's really a positive story. When I found out about it, I instantly was rooting for you, because a lot of the times you hear of stories like that, and like you mentioned, people don't come back. So I'm glad that you're able to overcome and turn it into a positive, and really, spreading the message about what it is to go through it and how to get out of it.
Yes, I definitely feel like an advocate for whatever somebody's going through, or whatever addiction they're going through. I think my life is a higher purpose now. It's for something good. Me being on a stage, Saturday night, it's even more, better for the people who's looking. I got a lot of people from the classes I was going to in the rehab. I got people who inbox me about, when am I fighting? How am I doing? Or they just ask for advice. So I just got a lot of motivation to do what I'm supposed to do.